Doomsday 3.
We had Doomsday 1.
No question in my mind.
He came from one of the toughest areas of Phoenix, both in this country and of course, praying for safety and
On the defense, talking about it. You better get your ass to the ball. You better get to the ball.
I just gotta say, when it comes to mortality,
Different.
for sure, and they would have thrown it off because this guy gets off you.
And then I go to bed every night like. Gee, man, I promise you that. What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag, Kelly K9. We're back in the house. I'm in my cave. He's in his cave. We had a great weekend in San Antonio. If you guys had a chance to check it out, hopefully you guys saw it. Good time. Kelly, how you feeling? You feeling better?
I'm feeling a little bit better. I still feel like that I've produced more mucus out of my body in the past week than I have my entire life. But yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling much better than I was when I was laid up in the bed in San Antonio.
There you go, man. And I don't know, I didn't know what to believe with Mark. He got sick. Does anyone know? Is that 100% legit that Mark was puking on the side of the road and puking the whole way home?
I mean, I heard that he was about to throw up, and Cuts had to push him out of the vehicle. So
not in my car, man.
Listen, he didn't get it from me. I didn't have any nausea or anything like that. Mine was all cough and congestion related.
Well, I'm witness. I didn't get sick. I was hanging out with you. No issues there. I'm getting ready to go on vacation myself. So I was making sure that I wasn't going to catch anything. So you guys know, next week I'm on vacation. Kelly, I don't know if you just want to take the week off. There ain't a whole lot going on. Or if you want to do a show, just keep a tune out for that if you end up doing it. Otherwise, we probably a well-deserved week off, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's the slow time. It's the slow time. Whenever it's slow, it's kind of hard to come up with things to talk about with the Cowboys. You know what I mean? There's really not a whole lot going on.
And so we're going to change it up a little bit. We are going to talk some Cowboys, but we had some other topics to talk about. And I get so many people, they're asking me, Kelly, what's going on with Uncle Cheech? I hadn't heard from Uncle Cheech. The college football is getting around the corner, NFL and this and that. So I said, you know what? We need to find out what's going on with Uncle Cheech and see what he's thinking. You're seeing all this college football, the NIL, and all this other stuff going on. So we are going to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Uncle Cheech. How you doing, man? It's been a long time.
Hey, long time. No see.
I know. You're living. You've been living the dream. I know you're South Florida. The Panthers. They won back-to-back Stanley Cups. I know you've been hanging out at the Hard Rock.
I was at the game last night.
Were you there? Were you there with the whale?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Good.
Been having a great off season here. I went to a couple MMA fights, a few bare knuckles. But the highlight, the whale calls me up, says, Cheech, Uncle Cheech, be ready in 2 hours. I'm going to come by. I got a car. Going to come and pick you up. I said, okay. So comes by in a couple hours and said, well, we're flying to Vegas. You ever see that TV commercial where they got the private jet?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. The private jet, nothing but the best for the whale.
Absolutely.
Get on the private jet. We go out to Vegas, find my old friend Sally. Remember the one that had the fighter?
Yep.
Fight business, and then you have to move to Las Vegas. So we spent like a little week with him, went to a bunch of casinos, had a real good time. It's been a great off season.
Nice. Well, that's the way to do it.
I'm looking forward to start now.
Well, and that's what I was going to talk about is we are getting about that time. I mean, training camp's coming, but what we really wanted to figure out is college football. I've gotten into some scuffles on here. I know Kelly, I mean, he gets in fights every day on Twitter. College football gets a lot of passion. So we're talking about the contenders and the pretenders, some surprise teams. But before we get into that, you're seeing the NIL. I shared a video with Kelly because there was a lot of tweets made out about Texas Tech and they're spending money, and these SEC teams are criticizing them, but yet they're holding a recruitment trip, and there's Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all these cars on the field. And this is at University of Texas, of course. And I mean, what did you say, Kelly? Everyone's gets put us off when the rabbit's got the gun, or what did you say?
Yeah, it ain't no fun when the rabbit gets the gun.
Yeah, so it's changed things. So what are you thinking about the whole NIL? And I know it's helped Miami. I mean, let's just be honest. So,
me personally, I think it's terrible. Myself, I think it's ruining the game. But it is what it is. I'm more concerned about gambling, making money on football games. Whatever they do, they do. As long as it don't come out of my pocket.
Yep. Well, I don't. I'd say I don't disagree with that either, though. I mean, I was long before Tech started spending millions of dollars on their rosters all across sports. I said when the NIL first came out, I wasn't a fan of it. I still stand by it. I'm still not a fan of it now. Obviously, if it leads to ultimately my team winning some national titles, I'm not going to sit there and complain about it. But at the same time, I don't think it's good for college sports. I thought it was bad at the time, but the thing was that when the NCAA first kind of came out with this whole thing, there was just no regulation, and so right now it's kind of like the Wild West, and when you put something out like that and you roll something out like this, there should have been some stipulations, regulations, some things already set up in place. Because once you unleash this deal and now everything is just wide open, it's hard to reel that back in. Because I feel like the NCAA just kind of completely just botched that deal and screwed it all up. Because now, I mean, you're hearing about teams and leagues like the SEC is talking about the guy that runs the SEC, he's talking about getting away from the NCAA altogether. They don't need the NCAA anymore because they've basically become professional sports. It's not even collegiate sports. Professional sports is what it is now.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, these kids don't need to. I mean, they don't need to even go to school anymore. I mean, you're getting paid millions of dollars. I mean, they can pretty much do what the heck they want at this point.
No, what happens here? They tell the coach, "Hey, what are you telling me?"
Yeah, I make more money than you.
Curfew.
Let me tell you a quick story. There's a professional athlete. I'm not going to say the name, but I was talking to a buddy of mine in the memorabilia business, and this is just, I don't know, it blew my mind, but it's just the way it is now, I guess. He offered a player, a good player, a Pro Bowl player, $60,000 cash. He said, "You come here, $60,000 cash. I will pay you for an hour of your time to sign a bunch of stuff. Not a number of pieces, hour of your time, $60K. Guy told him, I'd rather sit home right now and play video games. I mean,
yeah.
And you think about what $60,000 would mean to any one of us, or probably anyone listening to the show right now. I mean, but that's the world that these guys are living in. And now you get, the Miami kid, they get, the freshman, $6.5 million to sign with Miami offensive lineman. I mean, it's like you said, Kelly, it's a wild, wild west. I don't think they're going to be able to tame it. And then, I mean, back in the day with with Luke and Two Live Crew, they got him some limos, they got him some girls, and you went in the club free, and you got free drinks, and you were doing this kind of stuff. But now it is, the floodgates are open.
Floodgates are open.
They're not going to turn it back. When it's open, it's open.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to be. I can't see it going back the other way. Can't see it.
Well, we
it's
can't
ruin a lot of these. Going to ruin a lot of these kids and stuff. Just ruin the game. But like I said, I'm in here for gambling money. I'm not. Doesn't matter to me what they do.
Yeah. Make some of that. What is that? Skadol.
Get some skadol. Well, we got a super chat. Wait, Uncle Cheech, we got a super chat, and as as a fan, I don't even want to talk college football with Mike. And he's, he knows I'm a Hurricane. You're a Hurricane. Appreciate the super chat. And you guys know these things are going to our Cowboys Cave tailgate party. When we get these super chats, we gather them up. We have our 3rd annual Cowboys Cave tailgate party. Hopefully, Madman, you're gonna be there. Hopefully you'll be there, or any of you guys can be there. It's free. I mean, we do accept donations to help with food costs, drinks, and stuff like that, alcohol. But you don't feel obligated that you have to do it. But we use a lot of the super chats that we get to support us. So definitely appreciate it. But we're going to talk some football. And Uncle Cheech, Kelly's a Texas Tech fan. Obviously, I'm a Miami fan. There's a lot of excitement, at least with our two teams. And Kelly and I made a deal. And if you want to jump in on it, the door will be open. If Miami and Texas Tech meet in the playoffs, we're going through hell or high water. Kelly and I, it should be in the Southeast. That's the way they do the playoffs. So it's going to be at least somewhere in our vicinity and flying distance or driving. So we're going to go. But who are you? I don't want to say sleeper teams, but who are the teams that maybe just a notch under the radar, not your Ohio States and stuff like that? Who are the teams to watch in this upcoming?
Well, I'm going to give you 4 teams to watch.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're going to get to the national championship game, but if you want to put a few bucks on them to win it, you can make some, what do you call it? You call it value.
Some value.
Value, yes.
Great job.
So let's start with the SEC. Oh, I'm going to start with the team with the lowest odds, Clemson Tigers. They got a lot of people coming back. ACC, they got a pretty good shot to win that. They'll be in the playoffs. Good quarterback. I think he's a Heisman hopeful. But most of their strong players are coming back, and they can challenge. They get 14 right now. Today, when I looked, they were 14-1. You bet 100. You do okay. Next on the list, let's go to the SEC. It's going to be LSU. Right now, they're at 17-1. Good coach, good program. They could challenge for the SEC championship, I feel. And look out for the Auburn Tigers, too. I mean, everybody talks about Texas, talk about Georgia, same old crap. And I'll tell you what, don't fall asleep on the Florida Gators this year.
Yeah.
Don't.
How do you think that quarterback's going to do?
Well, what they say he does and what he does, we'll see.
Well, my son just met him. He was here this weekend, got 3 helmets signed by him. He said when he wins a Heisman, they're going to be worth a whole bunch of money. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see.
Who was the guy in Miami who's going to wear the new suit to the Heisman? What the hell was his name?
Who, Van Dyke, was it? Which one?
No, way before that.
Oh.
And he wore the suit to a funeral or something instead.
Kenny Kelly, was it? Kenny Kelly. I was one of those guys. But, yeah. Go ahead.
But anyway, okay, I'll give you the next team will be the Miami Hurricanes. Right now they're at 40-1.
40-1.
40-1. I mean, you can make some value with them. 40-1 when I checked today.
Wow.
That's some good value.
They got rid of their defensive coordinator. That's what killed them last year. I mean, offense was unstoppable. Defense killed them.
Yeah,
At the end of the year, they had their game. They knew their game, knew everything they're going to do. Last game of the year to get in, they had a 21-point lead. 21-point lead, and let the other team come back and beat them.
Disgraceful.
He should have fired them in the middle of the season.
I would have fired him at that.
When I went to the games, I said, they're giving up too many big plays. It's just a matter of time for to catch up with them.
Yep.
Sure enough, broke my heart, but they got a different guy coming in here, pretty aggressive defense, good offensive line, good defensive line. The offense, they expect 2 guys to go in the first round, offensive linemen. So I take a shot.
Yeah, great skill positions.
40-1. The biggest long shot, and I think people are really sleeping on this team, is going to be the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Wow, there you go.
Right now, I looked today, they were at 120-1.
120-1.
They had great portal picked up a lot of good players. They ought to win the conference, so it's going to put them in the playoff. If they don't win the conference, they ought to shoot the coach at Sunrise. They should win the Big 12 and get to the playoffs. I mean, anything can happen. Look at Arizona State last year. Nobody gave them a chance.
Yeah.
No, it's true. And Texas Tech beat them, I think, if my memory serves me right, Kelly.
Yeah.
Some long shots, get you some value, put a few bucks on it, and see what happens. Let the year play out.
Yeah.
It's not over till it's over. Last year, I started real slow at the beginning of the year with my locks and stuff. By the end of the year, I won the last, I think, 10 out of 12 games. Hit the lock. So you see what happens.
Well, let's get Kelly. Let's get after he coughs there. Let's get Kelly's thoughts. So those were his, value guys, teams to look for, sneaky teams. I mean, did anything stand out to you? Do you agree, disagree, or think he might have missed somebody?
No, I mean, I like all those picks. I think that's pretty good. I think I'm writing, got some stuff written down. I definitely got to go place some bets on some, just be on the seasons and stuff, and some of those, maybe a couple of those actually, just some of those long odds, man. You throw a little bit of money on it, and if it comes out and pays out in the end, then come out smelling like a rose.
Yeah, I mean, $10 on 140 is pretty good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I agree with obviously I agree with all of those. I think those are all teams that have a potential to actually, to do something that some of the teams that are not getting a lot of the talk about, you know what I mean? So, I like it. And I mean, obviously, what I've said about Texas Tech. I think they got a favorable schedule.
Absolutely. I was looking at that today.
Yeah.
I mean, they got things going their way, schedule-wise. I mean, they should win the Big 12.
I agree.
Hands down, they should win.
Yep, I think so too. I think they definitely have that set up for them, and they got a good coach. I really like the coach. I mean, the players have bought in, won 8 games last year, and then add all that talent that they got this year. So, yeah, they've definitely got some players there on the roster this year that should be able to come in and contribute. So I'm excited, man, and I'm excited for Miami too. And if anytime Miami can do good, I'm a fan by association when it comes to the Hurricanes, man. And we can celebrate in our hate of the Texas Longhorns together, and
Texas Longhorns.
Well, wait a minute. Let's wait, Uncle Cheech, hang a minute, because you're blowing up here. We got a lot of questions. I just want to get through them real quick, because we're talking about teams to keep an eye on. So we got one, Shane's talking about Indiana SMU. I'm high on SMU. Miami's going there. I'm going to go to that game because it fits in the Cowboys schedule. SMU, they got a former Miami offensive coordinator, got some transfer guys from Miami. I mean, what do you think about those two teams? Then I got one other question after that.
Yeah, I got a shot. I mean, that's why they play the game. We could sit here and talk all night, but when the season kicks off, that's when we see it. Miami's going to be tested first game. They're going to play Notre Dame. When they win. They're pretty much for real. If they get killed, and it's a home game too.
Yeah.
So,
is
Ohio State playing Texas?
Ohio State plays Texas to open the season. Open this. I'm pretty sure it's the first game.
Okay. What's the other question?
Miami plays. Let me just finish on Miami. Miami, you're going to learn real quick because they play Florida, which Florida finished stronger. They got the quarterback. So Miami plays Notre Dame and Florida in the first 4 games. The other question was Georgia Tech competing in the ACC.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like to hear that, but okay.
Absolutely. I don't like to say it, but I bet money. So
yeah. But you bet with your heart. You bet with your mind, not with your heart. So speaking of that, we get a lot of stuff going on here. So I want to know who the pretenders are. I want to know the teams that are getting all this hype. Who are the ones do not buy into the hype? Do you have any that you could?
I'm not going to necessarily say they're pretenders. I think they're contenders, but Texas Longhorns, I can see them easily losing 3 games this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I think where they play. You said they play Ohio State, they play Georgia, and they play Florida. Florida's up and coming. I think they got Georgia on the road, but the other ones are home, I believe.
Yeah.
I think Ohio State's on a neutral site or on the road, I thought. I could be wrong.
And then Georgia, they could easily lose 3 games too. They got Auburn, which I like. They got Florida, neutral site, and they got Tennessee on the road.
Yeah.
They could lose 3 games there too. Well, they're not pretenders, of course, they're going to be up there, but yeah, you lose 3 games, you're out of the picture.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys, Kelly. I want to ask you, and Uncle Cheech, I want you to follow because it's at Georgia. Texas is at Georgia. Cuts, let me know where Texas and Ohio State, if that's a neutral site. So let me just ask you this, because I got into a heated debate with Jimmy on the show with Jimmy, and I got nothing against Texas, but I'm just speaking my mind. But like Rambo said, you drew first blood, not me. So, but let's just be honest. Arch Manning, is he legit or is he living off the name right now? Because the thing I'd say is he's going his 3rd year. Like by last year, if he was better than yours, they would have played him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Ewers is a 7th round draft pick. Now they're hyping this Arch Manning like he's the next coming and he's going to be a Heisman Trophy. He couldn't beat out a guy who was a 7th round pick. So let me start. Kelly, you started off, and then Uncle Cheech, I want you to finish. But and tell me if I'm crazy. I mean, maybe he's good. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think you're crazy. I think that, I mean, look, Texas last year had 0 reason to, I mean, teams don't have allegiances to quarterbacks in terms of when it comes to having a great team. There's no reason why they had to start Ewers the entire season. If Arch was significantly better, and I mean, he got playing time. There was times they put him into games when there was blowouts, and he would step in and he would play. Look, if he came in there and he blew this coaching staff away and he was that much better in the times that he got to play, he would have started over Ewers. I don't think he's that much better than Quinn Ewers. I mean, obviously, I think that Texas will still have a good season because I think the talent around that team is good enough for him to have a good season. Because they've got superior talent. They've got 5-star athletes across the board on both sides of the ball, so that makes things easier on a quarterback. But no, I'm not sold on Manning being this guy that all of a sudden everybody's talking about. Oh, he's going to be the consensus number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Next year after this season, he's going to have that great of a season. I'm not sold on it. I really haven't seen it. I mean, and like I said, he has had playing time. We've seen him. I've seen him on the field. Texas fans have seen him on the field. Coaches have seen him on the field. It wasn't good enough to start for them last year, and he's their only option really this year. So I don't really buy into the Manning hype. I think that unfortunately with having a last name like that, it's football royalty, right? You've got Peyton and you've got Eli. So it's a big name to live up to, and I just don't know that he's going to. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I just don't think he's going to be as great as people hype him up to be.
Yeah, no, I'd agree.
No, I agree with you 100%. They're not going to know till they see him on the field. I don't give a shit what his name is.
Yeah.
Till they see him on the field. Like, he had limited playing time. I agree with you. If he was better than the other quarterback, they would have played him.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. I mean, they had a chance to get to the show, and if he was better, they would have put him in there.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. These people.
Well, I mean, it's no different than the year that Bama had Hurts and Tua. You know what I mean? It's they were. It wasn't that Hurts wasn't a good quarterback in college, but they thought Tua was better. What do they say? The cream of the crop always rises to the top. I mean, if Manning would have been better, he would have ended up playing and taking that job at some point last year during the season.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, shoot, Nick Saban benched Hurts in the championship. Wasn't it the championship game or the playoff
yeah,
game?
I think it was a championship game. Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's another team going to be on the slide too.
I think Alabama's taking another step back. I think so.
Yeah.
They got them ranked high already, but that's all a bunch of crap. They know as much as my next door neighbor. We'll see when the season starts.
Yeah.
Where
No.
things come out. You can talk all this baloney when the playing actually starts. That's when you're gonna know.
Yeah.
Like I told you when I was gambling, I said the early games are the hardest ones to pick. If they look at my record last year, I think I was 3-5 beginning of the season. Then I had a 12-win run.
Yeah.
Now I got to see everybody. I
Yeah.
didn't read the paper say, well, this team's number 1, this is number 2, this what it is. Don Gillione said that. I saw all that stuff. Once you see him on the field, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and I think I think also too, Cheech, what in terms of picking college football games, what makes things a lot more difficult now too, is that you've got that transfer portal and you got players just moving around. So a team that may be full of mostly underclassmen that look like they're promising, and you think, okay, well, next year this team is going to be a contender team because they're going to have some upperclassmen they've been planning. Then all of a sudden, half of their team transfers out to different spots all over the country, and then that team's unrecognizable the next year. So it's kind of hard for to kind of really predict from one year to the next. You've got these players that are transferring all over and just kind of bouncing. There's no loyalty anymore. It's kind of going whoever's going to pay them the most. It's that makes things harder
Only
too.
one loyal is Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
In all the games.
He's very loyal.
Mentoring the players, the young players, like he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Michael Irvin. You know that. So hey, let me. We got one more super chat, and this is a good one. And I want to get your opinion, Uncle Cheech and Kelly, because this is an interesting question by Chris Warden, $20 super chat. Thanks again, appreciate it. He says, "Evening, boys. Just curious about your thoughts on the NFL possibly expanding to 34 teams and an 18-game schedule in the next 5 years." I could see them expanding because they're trying to do Europe, which I think would be a disaster. That wouldn't surprise me. Before you answer, his last thing is, Kelly, my man, if you're ever in Vegas or Cali, you owe it to yourself to give In-N-Out one more chance. One more chance. I don't know. But Kelly, what's your thoughts on the possibly expansion? And Uncle Cheech, you get your thoughts on as well since you're here.
Well, I'll start off with the whole In-N-Out thing. If I'm ever out in Cali or Vegas, I'll give it one more try. I'll try something twice. If I try it out there and it still tastes like what it tastes in Texas, I'm out for good. But I can see the expansion happening with the NFL. I mean, they've been talking about this for years. I mean, they've been wanting to try to possibly, they've talked about moving a team to San Antonio. They've talked about going international. Getting a team in Europe, which I agree with you. I think that'd be an absolute disaster. I do not think that they need to expand overseas. I mean, with what they've been doing and promoting games and going and flying teams, that's fine. But having a team that actually is over there and in Europe, I think would be terrible. I think logistic wise, I just don't think it's doable. You're talking about having a short week as it is when you've got teams that literally have to fly over there and spend damn near a day flying over there. Then you've got the jet lag. You got to recover from the time change and all these things that you're asking these athletes to do. It just doesn't make sense logistically. I think if you were going to do an international team, the best thing would be Mexico. I think that would be the most logical if they were going to do that, is have a team in Mexico, because at least that's in the North American continent. But
the problem is, Kelly, that they don't think about is when you're based there, A, trying to get free agents, but two, the tax structure and the way they like in the U.S. I mean, we talked to our guy in Germany. What did he say? He pays 60+% in taxes of income tax.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally different.
California?
But no, that's in Germany.
Germany.
Oh, Germany. Oh,
I'm saying go to another. You think California's bad? Go over to Europe and see how what their tax structure. It's different, and how are you going to pull free agents that want to go there?
Never should have a team in Europe. This is our game. We don't need any teams overseas. Period.
Damn right. That's I agree. I don't think if they're gonna expand, fine. The expansion's fine, but keep it here in the United States. Keep it in the North American continent.
Big cities that could support a professional team in
Right.
this country. A lot of them.
Hey, real quick too, Clemson is playing LSU opening weekend. Boy, there's some big games opening weekend.
That's a good game.
That's a great game. That's
Yeah,
it.
That's going to be a big. That's big.
It's going to be a big game. We're
I'll
going to
give you
get into
Clemson at home. I'll take Clemson at home -3.
-3. All right, that's an early
There
pick.
you go.
I want to ask you. We're going to go to the NFL in a few minutes, but I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it because it's a slow time, and we don't always just have to talk Cowboys. We will talk Cowboys, so just hang with us. But Caitlin Clark, I watched the game yesterday, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't watch the WNBA, but something about Caitlin Clark and the energy, because there's a full crowd there. I tell people the crowd makes the difference. I can't watch the USFL because there's no crowd. There's like no energy. It was like when the COVID in the NFL, it definitely wasn't the same. So looking at Caitlin Clark, got feisty, and they've been beating on her and they hit her. Finally, you see the team fighting back, and the one girl absolutely leveled the
Cunningham, yeah.
And she targets back, but then you had Caitlin Clark hit that 3 on the girl that near the end of the game, and she told the girl, "You ain't even on my effing level." And I love that. I think it's great. Why doesn't the WNBA embrace what they're getting? Because you got an athlete. It's magic, and it's magic and bird. And I'm not saying the other one or another, but you definitely have. She's magic or bird, and they changed the NBA and got them off late night, got them on primetime, got them on CBS. And you've got a lot of young. You got the girl from Dallas. You obviously got the girl from Chicago. You get all these players. Why isn't the WNBA embracing this in the fans? It's something I say is women. I love women, but I watch enough reality TV to understand women don't stick together. They always talk about we're going to have an all-women's alliance, and it dies in a week. And I just think that's a piece of it. I'm not trying to be sexist, but it's just reality. But Kelly, what are your thoughts? And we'll get Uncle Cheech on the whole Caitlin Clark and just everything with the WNBA.
Well, I've heard more. I've known more people that have never watched WNBA basketball in their lives watching Caitlin Clark now, just because of the entertainment factor. And I mean, it's kind of hard not to. I mean, I'm not even really a big NBA fan, period. Whether even the men's side of it, right? But I've watched some highlights. I haven't actually sat down and watched a complete game. I've seen the highlights though, but I see, the Caitlin Clark highlights on Sports Center, and I see her draining threes from 10 feet behind the arc. I mean, damn near half court. It's incredible to watch her because she's such a great athlete, and it's entertainment. And, and she has this kind of like swag about her, and a little bit, she likes to kind of get under her opponent's skin, which, a lot of people were like, why does everybody keep coming after Caitlin Clark? They keep chipping her, they keep, dirty fouls, this and that or whatever. Well, I think part of it is because they hate the fact that she's that good, and she's cocky about it, right? Because she's in your face. She was that way when she played at Iowa. She was, she had the whole, deal here, the little celebration thing she did. So she's always been a little bit of a I don't say showboat, but an entertainer, and that's what she's about. And I think some of these girls, they don't really like it, but at the same time they can't stop it. So I think she's great for the sport. I think she's responsible for growing the sport. I think they do need to embrace her. I mean, as the face of the WNBA, I think she's going to be the face of the WNBA for the next 10 years. And just run with it, because it does kind of make you want to watch it. We were over there at Cut's house the other night, and I was like, he's got the game on, so of course I'm watching it, and and it's entertaining. And every time I've ever watched her play, I have been thoroughly entertained. And I'm, like I said, I'm not really a huge basketball fan, period, but I prefer to play than I do to watch. But I like watching her. I like watching Caitlin Clark, and I think a lot of people do. So she's good for the sport.
Absolutely. What do you think, Cheech? Are you a basketball fan? You're a casual fan? Does she bring you in?
I'm not a big basketball fan. I watch college championship game once in a while, but she's the best thing that happened to that sport. They ought to all be kissing her ass.
Yeah.
All the good players, they ought to all be kissing her ass.
Yeah.
But the sport's dead until she came along.
When she got hurt, viewership went down 50%. She missed 2.5 weeks or whatever. She had a hamstring or whatever, quad or whatever. Viewership was down 50%.
Yeah.
So, and it's like I tell people, You don't have to like her. I mean, she's a shit talker and yeah, whatever, but it's all about the money. It's all about the revenue. It's people didn't like Magic. Some people didn't like Bird. They said Bird was the biggest shit talker of them all, back in the day, but they help put money in your pockets. And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's building your game and the brand. And if you get casual fans, like, we're football fans primarily. I watch football all the time. Basketball, when it's playoff time, I'll watch it here and there. But when I see the game on, I kind of flip it on and I get stuck watching it. You're bringing those casual fans in, and then maybe they become longer fans. But anyway, I just was curious on the Caitlin Clark, because that's been a big topic. I'm seeing a lot. And yeah, she that was a great game. That was a great game against when they knocked them out and ended the undefeated season for New York. But
yeah, the team stink before she came along, didn't she?
What?
Didn't the team stink before she came along?
Oh, absolutely. They didn't win anything when she got hurt. They didn't
Yeah.
win anything when she got hurt. But we're going to talk Cowboys, so we'll let you run, Cheech. But I wanted to ask you before what is your early prediction? Not prediction, but evaluation of what you're seeing from the Cowboys from a 30,000 foot. You're not at the street level. And the way I'll put it is Vegas has them an over to under at 7.5. I threw $300 on that without even blinking an eye at 7.5. I think the over is all day long. But is that a trap? Or what's your thoughts on the Cowboys?
I think they got enough talent to win 10 games or myself.
Yeah.
That division, everybody different wins every year, don't they?
They do.
Mhm.
So you got to take a shot. I mean, could be anybody, but no, I think they got enough talent on that team.
All right.
New coach, new broom sweeps clean. So you wait and see.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I can't wait. I can't take this much longer. All I've been
I
watching
know.
is the freaking news online and stuff.
The beauty is we got 1 month to survive, right? We got to get through July, and then once you get into training camp, will be coming in mid-late July. You get some preseason, which I know isn't great, but then you're going to be getting into some other Netflix. You're going to have if you're a Cowboys fan, you're going to have enough to kind of occupy your time. But Uncle Cheech, it's always good to have you in the cave. Glad to see you're doing well. We look forward to
I knew the new duds I got the whale one.
I love it.
I love it, dude. Yeah.
We went out flew out to Hawaii too. Went from Vegas to Hawaii. Said, hey, TJ, we get some new duds to wear on the show. So, had a great time.
We love it. We'll be seeing you soon, man. Enjoy your next month off. It's going to be busy. It's going to be busy, so be ready. All right, we'll see you.
Good seeing you, Cheech.
All right.
Take care.
All right, see you. All right. Well, there we go. We get Uncle Cheech. I mean, it's always good to get him in there. I love talking college football and don't do it enough. We don't do it enough on the channel. We probably should do it more. And it's always better when your teams are good. So now we got Texas Tech. We got we got shit to talk about, I think.
Yeah, man. It should be an exciting season and give us plenty of material on both sides, man. College and pro. It should be good. Should be real good. Entertaining to say the least.
Absolutely. Now, what's been entertaining are the Cowboys, right? With the offseason. Yeah, obviously they're always on the headlines. They're always this. And you get Dak Prescott's coming out, and he's, it seems like got a business. I mean, everything's about, they got that business mindset and attitude. He's talking about his legacy. He needs it to deliver a championship to Dallas and to Cowboys Nation. Looking at the squad, and we focus a lot on the offense and looking at what Pickens and looking at CD and all the weapons they have on offense, Ferguson. We don't spend a lot of time on the defense, and thought maybe defense has got that business attitude. You got Micah Parsons. What's going on with Micah Parsons? And before I stop, Kelly, we got a big super chat. So
I seen it. It was at a $50, $49.99. Look at that.
We got to pause for the cause, and I don't know who Madman Gaming is, but you gotta hit me up if you're on Twitter so I know who you are. But all I know is we're beating the Eagles opening night. I can't wait to see how Lambs and Pickens do. I agree, and we're definitely going to get into it, and I'm excited to kick off the NFL season. I think it's going to be a lot of fun in Philly. It's I don't think you can ask for a better atmosphere But what's your thoughts on that? We got to give my man Madman some
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
Appreciate the super chat. And what do you think on that? What do you think that man's saying? You digging what he's saying?
Well, first of all, right there, man, that's a couple of cases of beer for the tailgate, man. We appreciate that for sure, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that, man. I love the confidence. I love the just come out, say it with your chest, man. Listen, I'm all on board with that, man. I would love it, man. I think that this Cowboys team, if they want to start the season out right, and they want to get things out, and they want to start it off with a bang, what better way than to roll into Philadelphia and drop a deuce on their parade, on their banner dropping, you know what I'm saying? They want to drop a banner. We want to drop 50 on them. I would love to go in there and just stomp the living shit out of the Eagles on opening night. Nothing would be better. Because I know that, the response would be like, hey, we won the Super Bowl last year, blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, that's fine. This is a new season. This is a new year. And if we can start out that year by giving them a loss at home, I mean, that would be huge, huge. Starting off the season with an NFC East win, division rival, knocking off the former defending champions. I can't tell you how huge that's going to be if the Cowboys can go in there and pull that out. And I got faith because, listen, when Dak Prescott is healthy, this Cowboys team is a different team. They always play Philadelphia very close, very well.
9-4. He's 9-4.
9-4. And, Dak Prescott is, he's coming back from a season where he was injured. He's going to have arguably the two best playmaking wide receivers that he's ever played with. I know a lot of people will point to say Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, but I'm actually going to say that the Pickens-Lamb connection is going to be better than that because I think that at this stage in their career, I think Pickens is better than Amari Cooper. And what he does.
CeeDee Lamb is better than CeeDee Lamb at that time. Correct.
Absolutely. CeeDee Lamb is kind of at the top of his game. I argue with people, and say that, there's an argument to be made that CeeDee Lamb is between the number 1 and number 3 spot. You can say he's the best overall number 1. You say he's the number 1, but I can't go any lower than 3. As there's an argument to be made for Jefferson and Chase somewhere in that top 3 along with CeeDee Lamb. But outside of that, I'm not putting CeeDee Lamb any lower than 3. Me personally, I would take CeeDee Lamb over all of them. I love what he can do because he can play inside out, slot, and outside. I love it.
And he produces. And he's produced 2 seasons without his starting quarterback. With
correct, yeah. I mean, he had a big season last year, with Cooper Rush, as his quarterback the majority of the time. I mean, we all know and saw, that Cooper Rush just does not have an arm. I mean, the arm strength is not great. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not saying he's a bad quarterback, but his arm strength is definitely not something that he's gonna have a good rating on Madden. Let's just put it like that. So, but look. I think that in terms of what you're saying, kind of going back to the defense or whatever, I was a little bit upset, man. I was a little bit upset earlier in this week, that I saw that Jair Alexander signed with the Ravens for $6 million. Once again, the Cowboys let a guy who I thought would be, could be a decent piece to add to this defense, if nothing else, a veteran presence, a guy that's been proven. I know he's got some injury history, but, a guy that's a proven veteran, man, amongst the secondary, which seems to be a little bit of a question mark right now in this defense. And they let a guy like that go to the Baltimore Ravens for a very reasonable price at $6 million. Absolutely affordable. Cowboys could have afforded that. And then you see that they went out and they grabbed another guy that was off of Green Bay, a defensive back, not the guy that we wanted, but a different defensive back who's just kind of a way lesser option. You know what I mean? It's kind of kicking the tires on a guy, maybe, hoping that this guy can be a contributor. But I mean, if you're rolling into week 1 and you're thinking that, that this guy is going to come in here and make some kind of a difference on your roster, I think that you're grasping at straws. So, I don't know. The Cowboys continue to kind of just, they made they get aggressive, selectively aggressive, they get aggressive with
good way to put it.
Yes. They get aggressive with the Pickens thing. And then other spots, they're just like, nah, I mean, I just wish for once that the Cowboys would really just do what Jerry said he was going to do last year and just go all in, man. I mean, if a guy's available and he can make him better, go out there, get aggressive and get that guy, man. I mean, even if you have to throw, even if it was the Alexander deal and he, said he took a little less to go with Baltimore, if you're Dallas, go in there, Dallas can be a contending team. Go in there and say, hey, you know what? We'll give you $7 million. You know what I mean? Even if you're paying him $1 million over what Baltimore paid him, be aggressive and make these moves to get this team over the hump and get this team. I mean, everybody wants to see this team win. All these Cowboys fans, we want to see them win. So I don't know, man. It's just a little bit frustrating to see things like that when they happen. Guys out there available, and the Cowboys just kind of whiff or didn't even really try, from what it sounds like. So
yeah, and it's really because we see the need right in the cornerback. Like we're not confident. I mean, I don't. They must be more confident than we are because you got Diggs coming off an injury. We don't know. You don't know how he's going to be. Bland, like we talked about, Bland's a good cornerback, but he's not your number one.
No.
And then you got a rookie. You got a guy, second-year guy. You got a guy you traded for that had first-round grade, but didn't produce like a first-rounder, right? In Buffalo and Elam, and every year there's camp. Oh, this guy looks good. Well, I mean, it's OTAs. I mean, I probably could look pretty good in OTAs. And there's no knock on. I'm just saying that you just don't know, right? It's unknown. And if you have any doubt, like a shred of doubt, then why not take a chance? It's just like Chubb. Chubb signed for $2.5 million. I mean,
next to nothing.
I mean, that's chump change in the grand scheme of things to what they have. And and Alexander, you're going to tell me he wouldn't have mind coming to Dallas. I'm not saying he would, but if he wouldn't mind coming to Dallas, and he knows that he said, man, the Cowboy Cave tailgate party, the Cowboy, that's on week 4, and we're going to be Dallas versus Green Bay. What better time to stick it to them? You know what I'm saying? That would get you pumped. You love sticking it to your old team. So I'm just saying I don't know why they're not as aggressive in defensive tackle. You and I talked about it. Now I just saw, and again, pardon me, because I'm just, I'm not paying attention, but they released Justin Rogers, who was their 7th round. Good, Kelly, 7th round, because you're big on that. 7th round defensive tackle last year.
He was the guy that they signed last year that everybody was telling me. They're like, we signed a defensive tackle last year, when I was pissed off that we didn't get a defensive tackle. We signed one, and look at him. He's not even on the roster anymore.
But so, I mean, that's the other position. It's like you have two positions, because I think we'd all agree the edge. I think we're pretty damn. I think we're as good as we've been a long time on edge rushers.
I agree. A lot of depth there.
I think we got youth. I think we're there. Then when and I looked at the all-pro, not all-pro, but all rookie team early prediction. They had obviously Booker at guard, and they had Eazy-E, the defensive end that they drafted. They had him on the all rookie team. So people are high on him, and you got everything else.
Yeah.
Defensive tackles are concerned. Linebacker, they had our guy from Chicago. They had him on the guy to watch list, guy to watch, breakout year kind of thing. So I think linebacker, believe it or not, I'm maybe in the minority. I think we're going to be okay at linebacker. Defensive tackle, you better hope his scheme. I saw that we had a comment from I wanted to save it from Shane, because this is it. How do you stop Saquon? If you're looking to get to the next level, your first priority is stopping the run. And, oh, by the way, you have the running back coming off the best year last season in your division, and you've got running backs that you're going to be facing on the schedule. If you want to get to the promised land, you better stop the run. And I don't know how much confidence we have in stopping the run. Do you?
Not a lot as of right now. I mean, it's been one of my biggest concerns. It's been defensive tackle and stopping the run now for, I don't know, 3 years. It feels like 3-4 years. It seems like that's been a problem for the Cowboys for a while. And, and just for whatever reason, I wouldn't say they haven't tried to address it. Obviously, they tried to address it when they drafted, Mozzie Smith. We drafted Oso Digizua. We have drafted some guys, and Oso has worked out pretty well. But, it's just that one tech. The one tech spot for defensive tackle has been where the Cowboys have just really haven't been able to really find anybody to, they've had some guys that have been decent. They had Jonathan Hankins they brought in a couple years ago that did a decent job. You know what I mean? It wasn't bad for being how old he was, but he was more of a kind of rotational. They had to rotate him in. He wasn't going to be your every down guy. They just don't have that guy right now that's just that you can just you plug him in and he's there and he's playing it just. We don't have
dirty
that
work, man. He does the dirty work.
Correct. You know what I mean? Like I would love to, you talked about it that one time, get like a Vita Vea type. Give me one of them big old Samoan guys and smack him right in the middle of that defensive tackles position and let him just go to work and let him eat up those double teams and because that's really what you want. It's a space eater. It's a guy that's eating up blocks so that your linebackers can get to, attack those holes, get into that backfield so that, the offensive linemen are not pushing your guys back and getting into that second level and your linebackers are having to shed off offensive lineman blocks because your defensive tackles can't do it. So, it's just having a great defensive tackle means the world. I mean, Jalen Carter for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, look what he's done for them. I mean, that defensive line is great. And one of the reasons that they're great is because of him. He's a great young defensive tackle. So I don't know. I just wish the Cowboys would have done something, and maybe they still can. Maybe they can grab a guy off a roster cut, a guy that gets cut that doesn't make it. But I mean,
some teams are going to be heavy, but I don't know. Hey, our guy Ken, he said, this makes you feel better. This might help you sleep a little better. He said Mosley's going to have a good year. Marcus words.
Well, I mean, I hope so.
Right? We both hope.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I definitely hope so. I for sure do. I mean, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Mosley Smith have a great year. He's still young, and I don't think athletic ability is a problem. He's an athletic kind of freak of nature when in terms of a lot of the things that he did at the combine. But then again, me and you talked about that many times. Combine workout monsters. Doesn't mean shit if you can't produce on the field. So.
No. What do you think about scheme? That's a hot topic. You and I have we've talked a lot about with Eberflus. His scheme. He's been proven to scheme his way to a good top 10 defense and run defense. There's talent. Do you think he could?
Sure.
I mean, is that our hope? Is that what we got to hang our hat on? That his scheme is going to be the difference?
What's encouraging for me about Eberflus is that he does have a proven track record in terms of being able to come in year one, elevate a team, teams that have had poor rushing defenses to, above a middle of the pack run defense. And that's, listen, we were 29th against the run last year. If Eberflus year one can come in and get this team to even I'd say even a 14th ranked, you know what I mean? If he can get him up just to that middle, top half of the league in terms of run defense, then I think you're talking about a totally different dynamic for this team and one of the big keys to a successful season. Because if you can get to that point, then that means that teams are not able to keep your offense off of the field. By running the ball, they're not able to control that ball. That means you're getting them off the field. That means you're getting stops and you're not giving up big gains in the run game. So, I mean, that would be a great thing. I would love it. And I'm absolutely encouraged by what he's done in the past. So I do think that scheme, will matter. I think you'll see it fairly quickly though. And you'll hear about it, I think, in training camp, hopefully. How this team looks and how different they may look, scheme wise. I think we should start seeing some of that during training camp and hearing about it. Maybe not so much in preseason, because a lot of times preseason, defensive schemes are a little bit more vanilla, but we'll know right off the bat. I mean, we get tested by, Saquon Barkley and the Eagles right off the bat. You know what I mean? So one of the better running teams in the league. I think they had the number one rush offense last year. So you're going to get tested immediately and you're going to find out, hey, what's this run defense made of? Has Eberflus made a difference? You'll know right away.
Oh, you're going to know real quick. And the interesting thing is Eberflus and the Philly coach, they were on the Colts together. So they know each other. Now, the offense might be a little different because he didn't have Jalen Hurts, and it's a different type of offense than he had obviously with the Colts, but it will be interesting to see how they that chess match between them. But real quick, because we do have to, we got a tight 1 hour, because I'm actually going to be making the long trip that Kelly made, but and Kelly's got some, but cuts. We'd be remiss to say this. He said Rhea, his beautiful wife, they're finishing off the keg that we were drinking from and watching the show. And we had a great time with Cuts, great food, still talking about it. Definitely looking forward to do it again. I think I need to get a kegerator because I'm telling you what, there was nothing like having ice cold draft beer at home. I don't know if I'd ever go to a bar, but my dad will attest because he told me that, son, it's not always the best thing to have in your house either because you're going to be drunk all the time. So that's the one thing you got to be careful of. It can get you in trouble if you don't control it, but it was a great time there, Kelly. And I know you weren't 100%, but you brought your A game. You definitely brought your A game. And Ronnie, I think he helped with that special concoction shot. And, he had that, he had the Red Bull in there because I'm telling you what, I got on that plane. I felt pretty good. I slept the whole way, but I didn't have a hangover. I wasn't feeling bad the next day. So I don't know if Ronnie was that secret concoction shot helped or what, but man, I felt pretty good.
It might have been, man, but I had a damn near 14-hour drive home the very next day. So and after being sick and everything, so I was dreading that. I thought, man, I can't be making no drive with a hangover, but didn't have a hangover, man. It was good draft beer. It was a great time for thanks for everybody that came out. Thanks to Cuts and obviously his wife Rhea. They were great hosts as always, man, and they always go above and beyond when it comes to being hosts and great food.
Was great. I mean, just
everything, man. And everybody that comes there, nobody really knows anybody. It's a bunch of relationships built off Twitter. And Fred, you welcome them into your home and make them feel right at home. I know everybody that was there said that they had a good time and enjoyed it. And it's great, man. And it's fun to get out there and kind of make those connections. And like you had said, Mike, I know you and Cuts went on the night before on Friday night, and you guys kind of went on in a little bit, and you talked a little bit about people ask, I know why you out there, you're supporting Jerry, blah, blah, this and that, and you keep doing this and it's and you summed it up perfect. We say it all the time. It's not about necessarily supporting Jerry or lining money in Jerry's pockets. It's about the connections we make, man, and they're these are more than friends. They become family in many cases, and and that is you can't put a price on that.
No, it's like what Ronnie said when he what does a star mean to you? It's family. It's bigger than the team. It's created bonds and friendships. None of us would have known each other had it not been for social media. But what brought us together was the Cowboys, right? The Cowboys ended up bringing us all together, and that's ultimately what it's about. As we all move on in our lives. You got kids graduating, I do, and going to college or going in the workforce. And what do? We got more free time. So, it gave me a great chance to, hey, Southwest I got some credit on there. I could fly out there for free. And it's just a quick weekend. But if you would have asked me, would I have done that 5, 10 years ago, never even thought of it. I would have said, why would I fly to San Antonio for 2 days to basically have a cookout? I'm flying to have a cookout. Why would I do that? But it's the bonds that you make and the friendships that makes it all worthwhile. So that's what it's all about. So all you haters that always got to give a shit, Cowboy, man, it's bigger than the Cowboys, man. Being DC for life, it's bigger than being a fan. And I don't know many fan bases that top that. And I'm just being honest. I don't know many fans that top it. But Kelly, I got to go to bed, and I know you got to get rolling. But all you guys in there, we almost hit 300 in the offseason, which is pretty damn good. You guys watching the show, hit that like, hit the subscribe on your way out. The super chats, thank you so much. It will go to the pot of our tailgate party. And it's going to be a great time. And I'm telling you, week 4, you don't have to go to the end of the stadium. Cuts is going to be out there. I know a few other people said, hey, but we're just going to chill. There'll be a TV. And then I'll be in the stadium because I haven't seen the Packers. That's a bucket list for me. But I'll be back out there, and we'll be partying that victory. And we'll have a victory cigar, victory drink, maybe some victory food and all that kind of stuff. It'll be a great time. But Kelly, you have enjoy your evening. Where are you going? You're going to
I got a buddy of mine that's playing for city darts. It's basically a big dart tournament, but he's playing for a top spot there, which if he does that, he gets to go to Vegas. So
awesome. Well, good luck to him. Hopefully he gets it done. All you guys, thank you. Like I said, I'm on vacation next week, so we'll probably have a week off. Kelly, you gonna take a week off, or are you thinking of doing a show? Or are you on the fence?
You know, I'm kind of on the fence on that one. I don't know yet. It may be one of those random shows. I'll have to let you know.
That's why you got to hit the alert bell, right? Because
Yeah,
Kelly
that's why you got to hit the alert. You never know. We may take the week off. We may decide, you know, fuck it, let's run this thing. So,
never know. I may just kind of sneak in and say hello and goodbye, you know, all the same thing. But that's why you guys want to hit that alert bell, hit the subscribe, like, share, all that kind of good stuff. Appreciate it. You guys have a good weekend, Kelly. I'll see you, brother. Take care.
all right, man. Peace.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.
All right, brother.